Gentlemen, welcome to the Week 4 edition of the Commissioner's Corner. I am your Commissioner, James L. Seagraves, rocking again solo because Richard wanted to get with me last night, but, it was a little bit of an interesting day to say the least. I have to be kind of quiet because I'm coming from a new studio, not one that I'm excited about, but I'm back in the old computer closet here at the Seagraves household, and not a lot of room, and not a lot of fun stuff behind me yet, but I'll put something in here. It's probably the last one of these that comes from my house. After this, my store will be fully functional. We'll be recording down at the Mega XP Zone. Anyway, so gonna keep the volume kind of down on this, and the intensity just a little bit down than normal. But if you look over here, I'm still starting to figure out how to use this damn streaming thing, but we're going to cut right into it. First things first is the top 10. We're going to go that route, and that is going to be found right about here. Look right here. Number 10, the Irish Shamrocks. I don't know why this is not showing everything, but Irish Shamrocks, they are 3-1 with 323 points. I don't know why the hell that is so small. Had everything working, and then, this happened. We'll do it this way. Bloop, bloop. There we go. Now we should be able to see everything. Nope. Not quite. This is embarrassing. There we go. So they were number 16. They obviously won this week, and now they're number 10. Number 9 is Oviedo Honey Badgers, 3-1, 328.8 points. Congratulations to Tony Lay, making the top 10 for, I believe, the first time in your illustrious career here. Number 8. Oh, man, this is brutal. He's number 2. He was number 2 last week. This week he's number 8. He was Wally. I had the pleasure of hanging out with Wally on Saturday night. And this man, let me tell you something. This man 100% does not stop with the fantasy sports. It doesn't even have to be football. We were at a wedding together, actually. There's a picture of us on Facebook. Go check out. Great picture. 4 strapping young lads, which would be Wally, myself, Potterville, and Kazoo Crazies all together for one great photo at this wedding. But anyway, this dude, mid-wet. I'm not at the actual ceremony, but at the reception, just constantly, like, what the hell are you looking at? I'm just saying maybe some college football scores. Oh no! What was Wally obsessing over during this wedding reception? The God-blessed Ryder Cup. Hilarious. Wally, you won, but you fell from number 2 to number 8 because you didn't score that many points, but you're still undefeated. If you look, we have 8 teams undefeated, 4-0, 323.59 points. Everyone below him, ranked higher than him technically, will have more than that, as you can see here. Which means that number 7, formerly number 4, still undefeated, 4-0 Somerset Slammers, 324.66. Up from number 7 last week is my own personal team, the Providence Power, up 4-0, 327.13 points. Barely ahead of him, myself, me, would be Rob Jaszewski's Better Bring Your A Game, still undefeated, 4-0, 327. Runs Like a Girly, number 8, 4-0, 327.75. So there are 3 people with 327 points. But, just a little bit more. A team has no name, 4-0, 332. Last week's number 1 team, Flatlanders, has fallen to number 1, which means we do have a new number 1 team in the nation. And that team is New Orleans Rock Chuds, Aaron King. Congratulations for being number 1 team in the nation, my friend. 348.6 something. We're going to call it just 0.6. We don't care. I don't know why this line is so big in the middle, but we're going to figure it out. We will get it. By the time this season ends, we'll have this X broadcasting software figured out, I promise you. So let's take a look at the standings real quick, and we will see. Maybe we'll see. Let's see if I can zoom this thing. Bloop, 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 bloop. Okay, it is making a difference. Oh my God. Looks terrible now. Bloop, 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 bloop. There we go. I don't know if you guys see that really, but so Ron Burgundy Conference, no undefeated teams left. Number 16 and number 18 are both in there. However, Tenacious D and Staff Victor. Team Major Key, Cody Cole, unranked, but, and there's going to be more on this in a minute, unranked but leading the conference. Now let's just stop right there, start another discussion. I received messages from a certain owner who was concerned. I got a screenshot of the fact that he had more points. There are 4 teams. He had more points than all 4 of them, but he was still ranked 3rd out of the 4. How is that possible? Is that the street sweeper coming by? Oh my God, it's loud. Here's how it's possible. The tiebreaker system for the standings goes as follows. First is your overall record. Second is your head-to-head record. And third is how many points you've scored. So, in a situation like that, the guy was talking about, and I like this one too, Cody Cole's team Major Key is 3-1. There are 3 other teams that are 3-1, as you can see here, 3-1. But he does not have the most points. What this means is that when you combine the 4 records of head-to-head of these 4 teams, Cody Cole has the best record. In the situation with Paul Smith, I believe it was, his team was 0-1 against those 3 teams, and 2 teams were 1-0 against those 3 teams. So at the end of the year, everyone will have played everyone, so it won't be as annoying and confusing because it'll be pretty cut and dry. This guy's 6-6 against these 12 teams. This guy's 5-7 against these 12 teams. Whatever, you know how it is. If there's a tie that many teams, it's not impossible. There's only 10 teams of it. So that's how that works. So in this conference here, Team Major Key is technically winning the conference. Has better head-to-head record, so congratulations to you, Cody Cole, even though he's only scored 266 points, which is a joke to have 3 wins and that few points, but it is what it is. Going down the Frank Drebin Conference, this is where things get a little bit tighter here. Oviedo Honey Badgers, Irish Shamrocks, Tallywhackers, all 3 in the top 11. Sorry, Tallywhackers, just barely missed the shout-out, but I'm giving you one now. And the Tallahassee Thundercats, all 3-1. No undefeated teams, but there are 4 teams that are ranked in this conference, so good job to you. Squadrils, barely missing their 2-2. And no 0-4 teams. Clark Griswold Conference, female followers, Flatliners lead this conference. There's only 1 ranked team in this entire damn conference. That his password is Taco, who has a hell of a lot more points than female Flatliners. If you look here, this is what I mean right here. This is actually the case in point. Team Smith has scored 317 points, which is barely not even a point less than the number 2 team in this conference here. But, of course, that record, 2-2 versus 3-1, makes a big difference. Tecumseh Football Titans and Dardar's Dandies have both beaten either Team Smith or Uncle Rico. So that's why they're ranked higher than Team Smith, even though he has way more points. However, Team Smith and Uncle Rico are both 0-1 against these 4 teams, and that's why Team Smith is ranked higher because he has way more points. Still no 0-4 teams. Can't wait to call one of those guys out. Derek Zoolander Conference, you have Flatliners undefeated still at 4-0, and Bill Pulling Dynamite 3-1. Interesting story on Bill Poley and Dynamite is that the dude probably would be undefeated if he wasn't a complete joker and forget to submit a lineup 2 weeks ago. Yeah, you get randomized, and guess what? When you get randomized, you typically lose. Not always, as it's happened. People have won while randomized. But if you take that randomized out, you are probably number 1 in this league, especially in this conference, but potentially in this league. Bill Poley Dynamite, they only have a 3-1 team, though. So you do have 1 4-0 team, but you have 1 3-1 team, which is hilarious. Everyone else is 2-2 or worse. Still no 0-4 teams, though. Good Lord, when am I going to find one? The Jeff Spicoli Conference here. A team has no name, and Providence Power, my Providence Power, 4-0, both of them. Now, this week, I played Nasty Nutria, who was a ranked team up until this week. Next week, this coming up week, I have some ridiculous game, too, I think. Let's see who it is. Who is it? I think I play ranked teams back-to-back weeks here. Not that anyone else cares but me, but I'm curious for my own self now. Yeah, I play the Broskies, number 12, and then next week, you look over here, I play a team has no name. So if both Providence and a team has no name wins, I mean, you're talking a match for the century next week. So yeah, 2 4-0 teams, only 1 3-1 team, that is the Broskies. And then we get down to our first 0-4 team, and I am delighted to say that it is last year's runner-up and the winner of the Fantasy Playoff Challenge, Tony Cromwell, Sioux Girls 1 Cup, 0-4. Hilarious. Sorry, buddy, but you suck. This year, anyway. Been great, historically. Then we get down to the Lebowski Conference. Lolly taking up 4-0 mantle. He's got 2 3-1 teams. Old Papa's plays and Run Like a Girlie 2.0. Now, let's stop right there. Collaborate and listen for a minute here. You may have noticed that name, Runs Like a Girlie, prior to now. That's because this dude, and his name is Josh Greiner, who I'm going to tell you right now, the reason I have this league is I appreciate the challenge level of it. I appreciate the fact that you can have a whole bunch of teams, and some of them are jokers, but most of them are great owners. This dude sends me a message in the middle of the week saying, well, what would you do if you had Matty Ice and who the hell was the other guy? Roethlisberger. What would you do? I'd say I'd pinch myself because I'd be fucking dreaming because my regular quarterback is Blake Bortles. So he tells me that he's like, yeah, I got I don't know why he sounds like a weird child molester, but I got Matty Ice on the waivers in both of my leagues. Let me just tell you something, man. I don't know who else is in this guy's league, this Josh Griner character, but if Matt Ryan is on the waivers in your league, you should probably step your game up and get in a better league. Just saying. Matt Ryan, I mean, I don't think even Bob Ryan is a free agent in our league, our real fantasy football league. So Matt Ryan certainly is not. So I would like to know if you could post in a Facebook group, how many people are in leagues where Matt Ryan was a free agent at any point in this year? Please, I would love to know that. That's a side note, but point is, even though my weird imitation of Josh Griner sounds nothing like him, kudos to this guy because he has two, not one, but two. I got to get used to where the new camera is. Two teams in the top 20, and you're the same guy, which is pretty impressive. Runs like a girly and runs like a girly 2.0, both in the top 20. Congratulations to you. Couple of the 2-2 teams here, a couple 1-3s, no 0-4 teams. Then we get to the Brody Bruce Conference, Brettavinho A game, and Somerset Slammers, both 4-0, number 5 and number 7 respectively. Ashley Manners HGH Supplier, 3-1. Good job to you. But then you do have Yeti Express, another classic owner, starts off 0-4. That is Robert Ames, Cody Cole referral. We all know Bob Ames. He's the only kid that could dunk at Addison back in the day. Well, he's dunking a lot of zeros right now. Let me tell you something, because he's 0-4. Shocking. Colorado Mountain Oyster, Danny Tyson, also 1-3. And Richard Perez's Texas Taco Benders, 1-3. You guys get some awesome owners. What the hell's going on at the Brody Bruce Conference? You guys are all terrible this year. Okay, so for Kirk Lazarus Conference, the last conference we'll talk about because the last one there is, number 1 and number 4. New Orleans Rock Chalks and Run Like a Girly. Also, sounds like a weirdo when he talks, in my impression. 4-0, both of them, number 1 and number 4. I would love to see when these guys play each other. Let's see if they can even do it. 1-4, week 10. They will not both be undefeated to come week 10. I can almost guarantee you. But that match is coming down the road. And also 8 Miles from 8 Mile. They were randomized once. I believe that's David Magden, I think. Right. Look at that. Oh, sweet. David Magden. He was randomized. Again, he was randomized. He actually won when he was randomized, it looks like, though. So, good job to you. And then we have DeWians, Gary King. Another great owner, been in this league a long time. So the 3 teams are 0-4, collectively have a ton of pedigree. Championship after championship after championship in regular leagues. And great. DeWians and Tony Cromwell were both Final 4 and even Final 2 members last year, I think. I have to double check. I know Tony was in the Final 2, but I think DeWian's in the Final 4 too. And these made the playoffs. Now they're both 0-4. Oh my God. Craziness. So I got to get ready to go because I got to go to Saginaw, but I'm going to check the schedules here and see if there's any interesting matchups in Week 5 to look for. Week 5, the Zach Young band. Oh, Killer Miller versus Sag Nasty. Go in there in just a few minutes. Top notch above top notches. That's Brother v. Brother. That's a good one. We have, let's see who else we got here. My Crabtree itches. Who's that? Who is that? Why do you have to offer and take forever? I don't know who the fuck this is. Oh, Brian Liddell. Okay. Brian Liddell. If we're taking on Cody Cole, you don't know each other. Jeff's Devlin Drunks versus Joel Bills Tallahassee Thundercats. That's a good one. Tallywhackers versus Cheatski. They're not related, but they're both great owners, so that should be a good game to watch for. Honolulu Blue Balls. That's Tom Farmer, I believe. I hate when people cheat. Oh, that's Larry Weinberg. Even better. Larry Weinberg taking on Tony Lay. A battle of the class of 97, ladies and gentlemen, of Addison High School. Neither of them live in Addison anymore. One in Florida, one in Detroit area. But it still means a lot to these guys to win, I'm sure. Anyone else going on? Oh, Uncle Rico versus female flat, whatever. Triple F. That's a good one. Black Hole versus Flatliners. That's a big matchup. Black Hole is Rob Bradley. He's always good, although this year he's not doing so hot. Flatliners number 2. So both, I'll tell you, both of the Fowler couple, not siblings because they're married. I don't know what you call that. Both of the Fowler couple both have tough matchups. Where are we going without ever knowing the way? This is something that we should talk about. The first person to message me on Facebook will take over this team if you want it. But you can't have 2 teams. You can't be in the same conference. So message me. The first person say, hey, this is Abel Frausto, or this is Aaron King, or whoever, people have said messages in the past. I'm making an open season rewarding those who watch this podcast. So send a message, say, I want to take over John Way's team because he's a joker and he's got randomized too many times. He's gone. Whoever does this gets the team, promise you. And pink is my favorite color. Also, is like every year there seems to be like a weird team that gets randomized or that puts in a fake lineup somehow. I think that might be happening to him. We'll find out. We'll know that more on that next week. The Broskis, one of the Harris kids versus Providence Power. That's the only ranked matchup this entire weekend. And of course, it's my team. Lucky me. Nasty Nutria versus Sioux Girls 1 Cup. Can Tony Cromwell finally get a win against the emotionally damaged Nasty Nutria? Because I played her in not one league but 2 leagues, and in both leagues I won. And she's a little sidetracked, a little bit of problem in their house going on with the basement flooding. I've been there. I sympathize with you. It is a fucking debacle when that happens. I didn't even lose that much stuff. But on the flip side, it wasn't, I might have lost a lot of stuff, but it wasn't water. It was sewage that backed up, and I had to vacuum it up with a shop vac. So you win some, you lose some, I guess. And then we have, who else? Anyone else good going on here? I should probably do this beforehand. Not really a lot going on here. Yeti Express hoping to get a win finally. Probably not going to happen against Tom Schneider, though. He was a hell of a counselor and an even better fantasy football owner. And that would be it. Oh, New Orleans Rock Trucks versus Ypsilanti Pipsqueaks. I know the starving artist, Aaron Seagraves, cousin of mine. It's the Quiet Ones you got to watch. If you ever heard George Carlin's bit on the Quiet Ones you got to watch, I highly recommend Googling it. It's really funny. Anyway, so that's it. You know, pretty straightforward podcast. Nothing crazy this week, but some great games, though. I mean, even though there's only one ranked versus ranked team, big games to watch for. I'm going to pick up the kids and head to Saginaw. I will be talking to you later. We out.